All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. ER Wolf here, joined by our master trainer, Kathy Inman, and we're going to be talking about sprint planning. So, guys, we do this every single Monday, and we do it for a reason, right? It's about being relentlessly consistent in our business, and it's about coming up with these repeatable activities that we can do over and over and over again that are going to produce a predictable result. And that's really what we talk about when we talk about sprint planning on a weekly basis. We're taking our big, sizable goals, and I know we each all have them, right? Like I've got my life by design and what I want to achieve and what I'm striving for, whether that be on the short term or the long term. Kathy, I know you do the same. And then basically, once we have somewhere where we want to get to, we sort of backtrack out on how we're going to get there. We create a plan. And for a lot of people who are successful, you want to put your plan in writing. You want to write it down so you know exactly what you need to do. If you're trying to store it all up in your head, and look, I've got an okay memory. I try to store it all up in my head, and the chaos of life happens, and I forget what I need to do. I overlook something. The appointment that I had goes by the wayside. Why? Because it wasn't written down. So two of my favorite things, that little notepad and my calendar, really help me become organized on a almost a daily basis just to stay on top of what I need to get done, right? What are the action items and what are the events? And how am I essentially prioritizing my time? Because if we've heard anything from Michael and Edwin, we've heard we don't manage our time, we prioritize it. And one of those things that I think of, Kathy, all the time is when I'm getting ready to leave for a trip and I haven't started packing yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the flight leaves tomorrow, but I'm still doing all of the things I need to do around the house and getting everything taken care of. And then all of a sudden, without fail, I get everything done that I need to get done right before I need to go for this trip, including all of the packing and stuff. And I feel like I'm ultra productive during that time period. Well, it's just because I prioritized everything that was so important to get done right before the trip. And then I became laser focused on achieving those things. Now imagine taking that same mindset and applying it to the activities that you need to get done throughout the week. This is really what we're talking about with sprint planning. So whether it's, any area of your wheel of life here, obviously the affiliate program, we try to focus on the financial portion of the wheel of life. Where's that right there? And really generating that passive residual income so that we can open up those three pillars that we talk about, right? Financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom, and really living a life by design. So Kathy, with that being said, anything you want to add about, sprint planning and sort of prioritizing your day and your week and scheduling things out?
Absolutely. I mean, to your point, you use the notepad, you use the calendar, but I also use my shuffle, right? Because I've got reminders that are going to pop up. I tell people all the time, yes, we have all these landing pages and your business card and everything, but we also have that, relationship portion where we're remembering who is we talk to. Matter of fact, 14 seconds before our call, I had just posted on our Nextdoor app in our neighborhood, somebody's got a roof leak. I don't know if you guys here in Dallas, we've got like torrential rains coming this week. And I was like, I have a roofer that I need to go post his card because the guy asked for a referral. So I'm constantly thinking about how can I use my cards? What do I have coming up for networking this week? Are the cards that I'm networking or the businesses that I'm networking, are those cards ready for what I want to network about them? Just planning your week, to me, it's not just it's laser focus, it's putting those blinders on, right? Because there is things, especially if you do work from home, there's things all around you, right? I've got laundry going, I've got, dinner planning, I've got all kinds of things. But like you said, when you have a deadline, like a trip or a flight that you're like, I'm leaving, it's going without me if I'm not there, right?
Yeah.
That's when it happens and those blinders come on and you are able to just absolutely focus on the things that are coming ahead. So I try and do that. I think you do it on Mondays. I do it Sunday night. So my husband and I actually talk every Sunday night and go, hey, what's on our calendar this week? Does either of us have anything in the evenings? He'll have like every other week he's got guitar lessons. So I, schedule around that. Sometimes I schedule our Q&A around that.
Yeah.
But if you look at what you have for the week and you look at what networking you have coming up and you look at the opportunities that you are putting or not putting on your calendar, to talk intentionally about Shuffle, right? Because I run 3 different businesses, one of them, talking about Shuffle, one of them talking about my nonprofit, one of them talking about networking. And so I have to intentionally make sure that those buckets are all being, kind of worked on every week. And I think we're all like that, right? We're all busy. We all have a lot of things going on. But if you plan them and you put those buckets out for the whole week, come Friday, man, you're like, look at all the things I checked off this week.
Well, I think that's very important. And for anybody who's watching this, to make that plan, to set down and allocate some time, this is exactly why we have this live every Monday. Because just like you, Kathy, I sit down the night before, and more typically on Sunday for the week ahead. And then Monday morning, Guy and I link up before we even get on this call. We compare notes and go through everything. And then again, every night before the next day, I will review what I have coming up the following day just to prep for myself. I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that we're planners, my wife's a planner, all of that type of stuff. We like to think about what's to come so we can be prepared. Everything to when the kids have school, we're laying out the outfits the night before so that when morning comes, we can execute like clockwork, just chipping through the daily actions that we have going on that day. And I think that's this critical component that is a massive differentiator between success and failure. And the old saying, those who fail to plan, they're planning to fail. And for those who have a plan and execute that plan and think about what their plan entails, that's really what it's about. We don't have all the time in the world. We've got chaos all around us. I've heard it as the analogy of we're all juggling these balls in the air. And some of the balls, they're made out of rubber. They're going to bounce if you let them go, and then you can catch them again. Other balls that we're juggling in our life are made out of glass. And if you forget to catch them, they're going to fall and break. And so we have to judge what we're juggling on any one time. But if you forget about something or let something go by the wayside, it's so easy to let it continue to go by the wayside until you look over and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so out of balance because I haven't touched this spoke in such a long time. And so really what we're talking about is developing these long-term habits, these success habits that will allow us and position us to have greater success moving forward. And when I think about some other attributes that fit in with planning, and there's a whole thing that when you start to really acquire these skills and then implement these skills on a repetitive basis, you're going to be blown away by the outcome. And that's what I think about. It's one, Kathy, like what you said, Sunday night, I plan for the whole week ahead. 2, I review my plan every night before the next day. 3, I wake up in the morning just to spot check. Is there anything out of the ordinary that I wasn't expecting that I need to be conscious of, right? That one-off event, that one-off thing. 4, at the end of the week, I will actually do that recap exactly like what you were talking about. Here's everything we got done. Oh my gosh. Like, it's really fulfilling to know that you made progress during the week and you need to celebrate that progress. But it's also a chance to reflect on what kind of progress you made. Was there areas where you struggled and you needed more time to get stuff done or didn't get things done? Were there areas where you accelerated and you could have actually gotten more done? You need to be thinking about that so that when you go into the next week, you're actually adjusting for that next week's sprint. And when you do that in this repetitive cycle, you just continue to build momentum and get better and better. And that's really what we're trying to express to everybody who's watching this is you have it within you to make a plan. You have the choice to execute on the action items on that plan. And if you do that diligently and with focus, you can make forward progress from where you are to where you want to be. And that's entirely up to you. So some of those things I think about, Kathy, are like, maybe you're wanting to make your first check online, right? I want to make an income online. Maybe I'm not going to distract myself with making $1 million online. Let's just make our first $25 or something, You can start thinking about what type of actions and activities you need to do. Maybe it's building and starting to use your Shuffle on a daily basis. Kathy, to your point, there's a whole relationship feature set within Shuffle that's going to help you keep on track of who do I follow up with? What did I talk with them about? What information have I sent them? How have they engaged in that information? All of that is so powerful when you go to have that next interaction with that person. And it's all because you did the preparation and the planning. The last thing I want to talk about before we talk on events that we have going on this week is one other aspect that is time blocking. So when I'll do a whole plan of my week and it's like, hey, here are the 50 million things sitting over here that I need to get done. And here's probably the 25 things that I'm really going to get done this week. These are my top priority items, the highest priority win list items, as Michael would say. It's what's important right now. A good example, guy's in the hospital with his wife. They're having a baby. Top priority item. Guy's probably not going to be focusing on emails right now. He's focusing on labor right now along with his wife. So again, guys, like it's not rocket science. We weigh out the priorities and we focus on what is the most important stuff. And then we can block time for that. So if I say, okay, I need to check my email every day, I don't need to be distracted by it, checking it throughout the day. I've allocated 2 time blocks throughout my days, once in the morning when I get to the office or sit down in front of my desk, and once in the afternoon when I get back from my lunch break. So I will check and be diligent about checking that. But I won't let myself get distracted by my phone going off saying there's an unread email or something. So I'm blocking time to do certain things. Now, there are events that we have going on that are specific times. So you may want to block out time for that specific event. In fact, I'll bring up and let me see if I can share my screen here. We're going to bring up our list of events for this week. And this will also be posted within the social groups, everybody. But I want to pull this up. This is our week at a glance you guys should be looking at right now. Obviously, Kathy, to your point, refill, will, and skill. This is your opportunity on Sunday to get ready. We don't really have any live events going on Sunday. So focus on yourself, your family, refilling, replenishing, and really resetting for the week ahead. We know we can't run at 100 miles an hour all of the time. I wish we could, because I've gotten so far. But trust me, you're going to burn out. You're going to run out of fuel. You need to take a break, take a breath, step back, and replenish. You also need to balance, guys, right? Moderation is worth it across the whole spectrum. Then we get to Mondays. Guys, you're in it right now, sprint planning, okay? We're 15 minutes in. It usually takes about 15 minutes. In fact, we're wrapping this thing up. So this is sort of your reminder to make your own plan. Why? Kathy and I have already made our plans. We're getting ready to start, after this call, executing on our plans, okay? This is your reminder to do it for yourself. In addition, on Tuesdays, Kathy makes herself available as a Shuffle Master Trainer to help and support users on learning how to best leverage the technology. This is a can't miss event that happens every Tuesday. There is a link that, Kathy, you post with the whole month's schedule. If you want to chime in on when today's is.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, if you click on you don't have to click on them, but so that everybody knows, if they click on the words right there, that will take them to it. Tomorrow, this week, is 4 to 5 p.m. Central Time.
4 to 5 p.m. Central tomorrow. So mark your calendars for that. And then again, Kathy, we'll be talking about an extra training for Shuffle we'll also be doing this week to make available on Wednesday. Business training, the mindset of a champion. Edwin and Michael, if you guys have not joined any of those yet, you are missing out. I'm telling you, this is can't miss development and business skills training, guys. The gold nuggets that are dropped on both Tuesday and Wednesday nights are worth their weight in gold. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff that I see, Kathy, and this is what I'm sure you see it the same, is if you will implement what you learn, it will be a game changer for you. So the first thing is learn, get educated, and acquire the skill, and then implement, right? Leverage the skill and apply it and watch the outcome result. Well, if you're
we do that a lot on Tuesdays. I mean, a lot of times we learn a skill and then that's your homework for the week. So come back the next Tuesday and tell me if you got tripped up, if you didn't, show us what you made. We always share cards. I mean, it's very interactive. Tuesday is super fun.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those things that, again, we're trying to express to everybody. These skill sets, it's up to you to choose which ones you want to apply. My recommendation is you grab a hold of as many of those skills as you can and apply them, because they're going to make a measurable impact in your success. And that's why we share them. That's why Kathy shares them. That's why Michael and Edwin share them, is because we know the impact that those skills can have. So again, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are big training days, but at the end of the day, it's only about an hour both of those days. So when we're talking about events and what we have going on, you're talking 15 to 20 minutes on sprint planning. You're talking about an hour on Tuesdays for Shuffle training. You're talking maybe about 30 minutes on education for business training. On Thursday, okay, it's usually a thoughtful Thursday. We don't have much going on. Again, this is for you to allocate and block out some time to do self-paced work. Go learn something, work on something, share something, follow up with someone, etc. With the exception of this Thursday, we'll have a special post coming out to remind everybody of this. But Kathy, you and I are going to get on this Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time. That's noon Mountain Time where I'm at. If you're watching this, mark your calendars for that, but we'll have some other posts coming up. And we're going to be talking about specific uses within Shuffle. And for this Thursday, we're going to be talking about, I've seen a lot of people out there who have a lot of places they want people to visit. So they create these link trees, right? You know, these lists of all the links of where somebody they know can go and find out about all the things that they have going on. That's what we're going to be talking about on Thursday. But, you know, with Shuffle, we always do it a little more. It's more like a link forest when you can get out there and really build whatever you need to, but yet link that to other cards, etc. Create your whole little micro environment to get out there and start promoting. So we'll be talking about that this Thursday, and I'm so excited because I know that's going to be one in what will turn out to be a series of additional use trainings, as I refer to them. Friday, we do Friday with the founders. This is your opportunity to connect with the entire corporate team and get your questions answered, talk to other people within the Elify affiliate community, share best tips, tricks, and practices so that we can all get out there and maximize our success. Again, lasts about an hour, guys. And then on Saturday, all of this leads up to your opportunity to invite people to a Discover Elify called Discover Shuffle and Elify webinar, where Michael and Edwin will overview what is Elify, what is Shuffle, so that the person you're inviting can make an informed decision. This is your chance to allow us to do the heavy lifting for you. Your only role for that this week is to invite people to attend. So think about that. Am I going to try and invite somebody every single day? Do I want to reach out to a specific person and focus on just getting them to attend? Think about those strategies as you lead up to your week. And that's Saturday, and then we're back into Sunday, replenish, refill. And guys, this is a repeating cycle. It does not change or diverge much from this other than some of the meeting times themselves. So with that being said, guys, that's sprint planning. You know, Kathy, is there anything else you want to add? I mean, my number one goal is just, I implore you, make a plan. Mm-hmm. I've got a plan. Kathy's got a plan. Most of the people I see who are achieving the success and working towards the goals that they want to reach are executing a plan. So my number one thing for everybody is, if you have not made a plan, this is your chance today, starting now, to create that habit and make that plan. Start out with just making a plan from now for the next 7 days, the next week, of what you want to accomplish, and list out, maybe it's 3 major items every single day. What are my win list items? 3 times 7 is 21. So what are your 21 items that without fail, you are going to do everything in your power to achieve this week, independent of the noise and the chaos of everyday life? Just do that one challenge. Maybe it's sending out some invites. Maybe it's following up. Maybe it's joining a training and joining us on a Friday with the Founders, or inviting people to the discovery call. Again, you make your plan and execute your plan. The rest, you know, is entirely up to you. So with that being said, Kathy, anything else to add on this sprint planning for today?
I think the only thing to remember is on those Saturday calls, I also invite my new Shuffle users, right? Yeah. Because they're still getting to know what Shuffle is going to do for them. And that's a fantastic opportunity for them, not only to see what the Shuffle, you know, what Shuffle does. They can, you know, be maybe introduced to the affiliate program if you didn't introduce them to it. Get everybody on that call, right? Again, it's every one of these calls is all about community. And I think the only thing I would wrap up and say is just remember, as an entrepreneur, especially if you're newer to this, you know, entrepreneur, is set yourself some time, some hours. Set your work hours. So, you know, when you go to work, they tell you what hours you're going to work. So now it's time that you can tell yourself, what are the hours I'm going to work, and block them out, and then work those hours and watch the accomplishments that you're going to have and how they're going to stack up. Because if you just wait to figure out when you have time to work, that's different than being intentional about those hours.
I think that's so important, Kathy. I remember I was talking to a mentor of mine, and I was getting ready to make a big decision in my life. And I said, well, I'm just waiting for the perfect timing. And that mentor sort of, whoa, wait, stop right there, ER. Like, stop, hold, rewind. There is no perfect timing, okay? Life is going to happen whether you like it or not. The hours on the clock are going to tick away, and really action is all that matters. If you want to move forward in something, there will never be a perfect time. So if you've made the decision to move forward, then now, today, right now is the time to take that action. And then make that list and start executing on it. I agree 100%, Kathy, with what you're talking about. And the community is one of these things that I think can't be missed or overlooked. And I know we talk about like the tools and the technology and the income opportunity and all of these things, but the community. There's something that happens when you're an entrepreneur, right? When you're doing things focused on yourself, building something for yourself, all of that. Sometimes you can feel by yourself, right? It's a lonely world out there when you're doing things and doing the grind and everybody else is sort of punching the clock. To come together with fellow like-minded individuals and work collectively together to help each other, it's an abundance mentality. There's a lot of opportunity out there. Nobody's looking to beat somebody else or win it. We're all looking to support each other. And I think that's one of those things that I would encourage for the lives that are going on throughout the week. Take an opportunity to mark that calendar, allocate that time. If you have to take a break during the day, maybe it's your lunch break or whatnot, to join on those lives. You're going to meet an entire community of fellow entrepreneurs, work-at-home professionals, solopreneurs, direct sellers, multi-level marketers, everything across the board who are all working towards a greater goal for themselves and their families. And by leaning into that, we are an average of the people we hang out with. I don't know if you've ever heard that quote before, but I truly know it. And the fact that I have known Kathy and be able to work with her, some of that rubs off on me and I benefit from it. And hopefully, a little bit of my good qualities rub off on Kathy. And that's part of that collective community. So I would encourage you to join in on those events. There's probably less than a total of 4 hours throughout the week if you measured it with a stopwatch of total live time. Make sure you're allocating that time, and then make sure you're blocking other time. Set yourself a nice environment to work at. Most of you guys see me on this video with this whiteboard behind me. I'm in my office surrounded by these whiteboards, and it's that small, quiet spot that I can sort of wall myself off with, get rid of all distractions, and execute my plan. You need to find that for yourself. I don't care if it's go to the coffee shop where it's quiet or find that corner of the house or the table, the dinner table or whatnot. Eliminate all of those distractions and start working your plan. So with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this Monday Sprint Planning. I'm so excited, Kathy, to have you on. We're going to have a little bit of change of faces here with guys out of office, and it's going to be a lot of fun this week, so I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I will see everybody tomorrow on Tuesday's Training with Kathy. I'm probably going to be joining in there as well. So thank you, everybody. Take care and make it a great week, okay? Bye, everybody.